This is Soan Chapel at Cippyn in Pembrokeshire, or rather it was. It was a simple long-wall chapel with 2 doors, 3 windows and a fireplace. The pulpit would have been between the windows. It was built in 1798 by Evan Owens, a member of nearby Blindwine Baptist Chapel, until he was kicked out. Evan, his wife Elizabeth, Griffith Morris and his wife Margaret all fell out with the Baptist Chapel at Blindwine over tithes. So Evan built this chapel on his own land and at his own expense, so he had somewhere to worship. These 4 were joined by Vincent and Martha Llewellyn, who were also excommunicated from Blindwine in 1799. 6 people with their own chapel, but no minister. However, they did have an occasional minister in Dr. Richards. Evan's daughter was married in 1803 to Dr. William Richards, who was at Salem in Mydrim, an Arminian. That is to say, he believed that salvation was a question of free will, the believer choosing to be saved, rather than the traditional Baptist Calvinistic doctrine of predestination. That is, God choosing the elect that would be saved to go to heaven, anybody else being destined for the other place. Evan's other daughter married another Arminian minister, David Thomas, and he became the full-time minister here, but not for long. He died in 1806. Another minister here was David Richards, a cardigan merchant, who was rumoured to be a Unitarian, that is, he didn't even believe in the Trinity. The congregation of Soan were doctrinal black sheep, or perhaps goats. Either way, they were a very small flock. Margaret and Griffith Morris went to America. Others died. Mrs. Thomas married again, this time to a Mr. Phillips, who had Methodist tendencies, and the Methodists used the chapel around 1812, but she fell out with them and locked them out, so they had to hold their Sunday school outside. After 1815, Soan was made available for worship for Baptists and Independents. Doctrinal debate followed, and the Baptists came out on top. The chapel was now a Baptist chapel, and the congregation back under Blindwine's theology. But it was too small for the congregation and in poor condition. A new chapel, Gerazim, was built a little way away in 1848, but it was built badly. It didn't last long and had to be replaced in 1880 by this building by George Morgan of Carmarthen. So, in 1848, this chapel was abandoned and is now a ruin. The woodland outside it is full of bits of junk and old tyres, but this is its cemetery, untended, wild, and apparently with no surviving headstones. But it's the burial place of its early members. Somewhere here lies the minister David Thomas, and his only daughter, and his remarried widow, and many others, all forgotten now over the following 2 centuries. I hope you enjoyed this video about the rather rogue chapel of Soan. If so, please remember to hit the like button. And if you want to find out more about Welsh chapels, I have a whole playlist of them in my channel. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.